Police in the UK receive a call for domestic violence every minute of every hour of every day, 365 days a year.
More than half will be homes with children living in them. For those children, someone, maybe someone they love, is getting hurt.
Once upon a time.
So this is love. In 29 weeks, my hearing improves. I float, cushioned, in a warm, safe space. But sometimes, when our senses pick up danger signs, primitive brain takes over and floods our bodies with stress hormones. So we are ready to fight or run away. It's survival.
The human fetus is born before the head gets too large. And so, the first 3 years of life are critical in the development of a baby's brain, which grows rapidly in response to information received through the senses, in size and complexity. At birth, we all have 50 million synapses, that's neural connections, in our brains, an incredible number. But by age 3, that has increased to 1,000 trillion neural connections. Our brain doesn't get any bigger after that. Actually, it gets slightly smaller, although our body keeps growing until we are 20. These neural pathways are created in the brain in response to sensory stimulation. The synapses that are repeatedly used become hardwired and permanent. The ones that aren't used are wiped out at the incredible rate of 33 synapses per second. So our brains are literally sculpted during this critical 3-year period by experience. The brain of the infant who is ignored or neglected will not have as many neural pathways. These are pictures of brain in 2 3-year-old children. The one on the left is a normal child. The one on the right is a child who has suffered severe neglect. The emotional brain is largely created in the first 18 months of life, in response to the emotional attunement of the primary carer. An emotional umbilical cord is created through such things as eye contact, cuddles, and comfort. A newborn baby does not know how to regulate its emotions. If the baby is crying and in pain, it does not know that that pain is not going to continue forever. If the baby is hungry and it's not being fed, it does not know that it's ever going to receive food. A baby doesn't know these things. It has to find the answer somewhere, and the only place it knows to find it is in the emotional connection with the parent. Women living with domestic violence are more likely to experience depression. Often, their role as mother is undermined.
I don't feel okay. But no one comes. I learn it makes no difference. I can't expect my world to listen to me.
Because of its incredible sensitivity in response to the sensory stimulation it receives, the infant brain is acutely vulnerable to trauma. If the baby experiences or senses fear, the stress hormones triggered wash over the baby's brain like acid. If the developing infant brain is repeatedly exposed to the stress hormones released when the primitive fight or flight response is triggered, it can become hyper alert.
He'd been doing it for 2 years, biting his t-shirt and repetitive movements which were from anxiety.
Everything makes me nervous and jumpy.
Research has found that if the developing child has a secure and caring primary relationship, this can be a protective factor.
Each of us the child may bless with a single gift, no more, no less. Whatever happens next in life, these gifts protect a child from strife. My gift shall be the gift of attention. My gift shall be the gift of trust. If despite all hope you live with fear, may you experience warmth and affection from someone near.
In the primary years, children may try to intervene when one of their parents is being abused or attacked.
You're having a fight. I'm talking to the police, Mommy. Stop it! Mommy! Stop it!
I used to run down the stairs to see if my mum was okay. I tried to guard my mum so he wouldn't hurt her.
Sometimes witnessed, sometimes overheard, not always understood.
Don't know whose fault it was. My dad used to say that it was my mum's, but I think it might be my dad's.
I saw my dad fighting with mum. They were hitting each other. My dad used to do the hitting.
It was behind closed doors. I'd see the bruises she had, but I suppose I did sort of know.
It's not all the time. It's just, it could happen anytime. You know something's bad happened to you, but you don't want it to happen again.
Humpty Dumpty sat on the wall. Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. All the king's horses and all the king's men couldn't put Humpty together again. Humpty Dumpty sat on the wall. Humpty Dumpty had a great fall.
If I tell anyone, they might take me away. I'm not sure who they is.
As children, we are dependent and are often powerless to change the situation. Our world is the only one we know. Whatever the circumstances, our instinct is to adapt and survive.
I felt it was my personal business and I didn't want anyone to know. Because it was family business and I didn't want anyone else to know about it.
No one to hold the milk.
This is pack one, right. Okay.
Now I'm having that.
Okay.
That's no dad chocolate on.
Yeah. Okay. All set, come on. School we go.
I'm sorry, 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 I'm sorry.
Friends don't always understand it's important not to make a mess. It's easy just to not invite anyone over.
Fear changes the way we think. The only part of the brain that is better developed in traumatized children is the locus at the base of the spine, our primitive brain, survival mode. And the cortex, which is used for complex thinking, shuts down whenever primitive brain takes over.
It was the worst part of my life, constantly being shouted at and frightened, thinking that every day could be your last.
I was so scared all the time I was at school. I thought he must have killed my mum.
My mum used to cry.
I can't concentrate at school.
He tried to get her to drink the bleach, to pour it into her mouth while he held her there, and when he couldn't make her, he poured the bleach all over her face and hair. He was trying to kill her.
He once made a hole with an axe in my sister's bedroom door. Then he used to look through the hole.
Sometimes I get very tired because I get lots of nightmares. And I have to sleep watching two doors with my back against the wall.
The teacher won't believe me anyway, even if I tried to tell her. We didn't get along, so there was no point. She'd probably just say that I was making it all up.
Distress, anxiety, and fear are difficult emotional states to manage. What children can't tell you with words, they might express through their behaviour.
It gets me all confused and muddled up.
I used to be a bit crazy. I was always mad, but, and I used to get into fights quite a bit. I just felt angry all the time.
Stop punching the wall! Or else I'll give you a taste of my fist. Would you like that? My mum's always upset because sometimes I break things that are hers.
It's because sometimes Mum can't help me wash everything, and then other children call me names. Smelly idiot, fat.
Children report that friends or family who they can talk with can make it easier to cope.
She
show you how she fell down.
Go to friends' houses or relatives if you can. My best friend was the person I can talk to and trust her not to tell everyone. Her parents argue a lot too, so she understood.
Come on then.
Mum used to try and explain. When he walked out, we used to cuddle up together and talk.
There we go.
We stick together, we did. We're a team. We help each other.
Adolescence is the period of momentous change and growth. Physically, cognitively, and emotionally.
Such major changes over the space of a few years makes adolescence a time of inner turbulence, fluctuating emotions and conflicts, as we journey from childhood to becoming our own person in the wider world.
At one point in your life, you're a vulnerable kid whose lack of knowledge some people take for advantage. But you are no longer that same child. Smarter and wiser, you are careful of who you trust, who you go with, who you talk to.
To become emotionally strong and healthy adults, we need both independence and support. For those children who reach adolescence without the solid foundations of secure earlier emotional development, the challenges and risks are far greater.
I'm too tired to concentrate at school. Sometimes I fall asleep in class. I make myself be awake at night so I can jump up when it's happening and get between them. Every night I do that. Usually it helps because I get between them and cry and try and stop them. And my dad does, because he wouldn't want to hurt me and he gets embarrassed that I'm seeing it. So it's important that I don't go to sleep for my mum's sake. So I jump up as soon as it sounds like it's getting bad.
I have to wait until Dad's asleep, and then most of the time I'm too tired to do schoolwork. But I want to get through my exams because I want to get out of here. I'm determined to keep my grades up.
Got to stay focused on the things that matter in life. Got to stop fucking around with the things that are stressing me out. My mother and father's brothers and sisters, boyfriends and friends being an annoyance, no being annoying, mixing my words, causing confusions, education, focus, exams. Don't stress, concentrate. August results, university, law, biology, economics, family, children, being abused. That is my aim, my goal. No more pain, no more heartache.
See no evil, hear no evil, speak no evil.
It's funny how when you love something so much, you really can't see the things that are wrong. You think everything shines where it really doesn't. But you're not that vulnerable, gullible child anymore. Now you choose not to see.
When he gets drunk like that, it goes on for hours. You just get out.
Hello, this is Childline. Help me. Tell me about it. I can't.
You came to me today and asked the question that for months I had been waiting for. I pretended as though I didn't know what you meant. I thought long and hard as many things ran through my mind. But my heart began to burn and continues to worsen as I found the thoughts I craved to release would not flow out my mouth as I hoped it would. I looked at myself and could not understand why, given the perfect opportunity, I could not deliver.
Someone from the court came to talk to me about seeing my dad. I didn't know what to say. I used to say I was saying the wrong thing. The worst thing I could think of was actually having to see him again. I remember sometimes not answering the questions because I couldn't. Most of the time, as soon as they came, all I was thinking of was, I've got to make sure I don't see him again. I spent about 15 minutes thinking about the question, trying to remember what it was. You avoid answering, or you lie. You just don't answer.
The teacher was always nasty to me, so I wouldn't tell her.
See nothing, say nothing, hear nothing.
If you can't trust your family not to hurt you, who can you trust?
I'd get really upset. I used to get these pains and I don't know, they used to say it was like stress or something. Sometimes I'd stop breathing. I just used to get really upset and cry all the time and stuff.
Children and young people get depressed too. Key triggers: losing their parents, not being listened to.
Mum told the teachers at school about the trouble at home, that we're moving. They didn't really say or do anything to help. They could have asked if I was okay or if I wanted to talk about it.
Losing pets, favourite toys or possessions.
We had to leave our home in a hurry, but I couldn't tell anyone. But I missed my nan.
We had to pretty much leave everything there and to leave without my dog. And I don't know, I just really miss her. I don't know what happened to her.
We're not allowed pets in the refuge, so Willis couldn't come. He's my cat, but he was like my best friend to me.
We weren't allowed to take a lot of stuff with us because they said we would be moving around a lot. I had like one big rucksack on my back and one big handbag. My brother has one big bag and my mum had 2 black plastic bags.
And changing schools, moving home and losing friends.
I have really good friends at school, but they couldn't come round when he was here. He would be so violent to everyone. He drove everyone away.
Some discover ways to forget or switch off. Those who can't get support from parents may find it among their peers.
I'm late for school every day, but I don't want my mum to know because she's got enough to worry about. Anyway, I think she's too worn out to care what we're up to.
I do not know what more to write. My heart literally burns and my stomach aches. Maybe I'm hungry, but I only just ate.
Grown-ups think they should hide it and shouldn't tell us, but we want to know. We want to be involved and we want our mums to talk with us about what they're going to do. We could help make decisions.
I wait for facts and understanding. I wait for another. I wait for questions to be asked and answers answered. It will be hard, for patience is far from being my middle name, and stress attacks my soul. My soul burns with upset, rage and revenge.
Our instinct is to adapt and survive.
So what can you do to help me? Ask questions. Don't shut me up. Listen when I'm ready. Believe me. Act on what I say. Give me tips to keep me safe.